like somebody I pay to wipe my ass. Like I just pay you to wipe my ass. Would you do that if I get you 50
Alright,
bucks?
what's going on, guys? Bringing you a 100 kill non-lethal gameplay playing some hardcore domination using the A94. I actually ended up getting like a 50 gun streak in this, so that was pretty cool. In pretty much the entire first round, what you'll be watching, I don't die. And then I died like right at the last, like literally the last second. I don't even know how I died. But, because obviously there's no kill cams, but anyways, this guy killed me. Also, in the second round, this fucking kid on the other team decides to boost for some load stars and stuff, and I didn't even realize it during the game, like, because I was wondering, I was like, yo, how the fuck is this kid getting all these kill streaks? I've pretty much had a V set up the whole time for my team, like, how are they getting raped like that? And then I kind of watched it back, now that I'm doing this video, and I looked at the kill feed, and this one guy on the other team kills the same guy, like, 20 times in a row, and starts getting all his kill streaks and stuff, and I didn't catch that during the game, but yeah, that's what ends up happening. So this probably would have been a much better gameplay, maybe like 120 kill non-lethal or something, but that ended up happening, so that was kind of a fail. Anyways, not important, still ended up dropping a pretty decent gameplay, so yeah, just enjoy that in the background. And this is going to be my X Games thoughts video. So the X Games ended yesterday. Doing this video, actually I'm doing it on Monday. I probably won't upload this till Tuesday, but anyways, let's talk about what happened. So as far as the placings go, it was a little bit of a shake-up, I guess you could say. EG did not win this event, which there was an event that they would lose. This would be it, and I'll talk about that later. But Optic Gaming won an event. Now that was actually surprising because I thought they would do well. You know, I said in my predictions video they always happen to do well at the big events, and this was a big event, and I said they'd probably place third. They actually ended up winning, which was pretty crazy. This is the first time they've won an event in like over a year, maybe like almost, I think it's almost coming up on even 2 years now, because they didn't win a single, well no, they won one event, like one of the first events of Black Ops 2, they won UMG Chicago. So yeah, it's probably been about like a year and a half since they won, and you know, they finally won again, and now no one I guess can really say anything about them haven't winning in a long time or whatever. But this is actually Nadeshot's first MOG event, like he was so happy about that. He was like crying in the interview, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, you know, congrats to them, they played well, they deserved their win. They played even better than I thought. You know, I thought they were gonna play well, but not that well. They beat TK in the finals. TK got second once again. You know, TK has that second place curse. You know, it doesn't matter who they're playing, they always seem to get second place. That really must get annoying after a while, to be honest. Like, it's cool, yeah, you're good, you're placing top two all the time, but you know, eventually, you know, you want to win one. You know, like that has to get like annoying. So I'm sure I'm sure they're probably not even happy with that. You know, they do get a silver medal. I guess that's pretty cool and everything. But yeah. Anyways, then we have EG in third. They got their bronze medal. They beat Envy for the bronze medal. So that's your top four right there. Optic, TK, EG, Envy. I guess top three is really the only ones that matter. They're the only ones that got anything out of it. As far as like other placings, Optic Nation played awful. I don't know what happened. They got beat like twice in a row and they got eliminated right away. Same thing with FaZe Red. Like, they won their first match, I believe, but they really just got raped by Curse Orange when it really came down to it. When it mattered, they got just 3-0'd easily. So I don't really know what's going on with that team either. FaZe Red should be a lot better than what they played at this event. I don't know. And then who else? SB, they actually played pretty decent, I guess, to be honest, even though they had a pickup with Fizzerp, and I'll talk about Fizzerp in a second, but I think they played pretty decent. And then there was Curse Orange. They played okay. I mean, they played as much as I would expect them to play. So anyways, that's pretty much all the placings, and now I'll talk about like some of the players and stuff that did well. I'll give Fizzerp his prop. First of all, he's a fucking S&D beast. Like, I wasn't sure like whether he's gonna come on LAN and, you know, in 4v4s and be able to do extremely well like he does online in like the little S&D tournaments and stuff. You know, he does the 2v2s, the 3v3s. You know, he does 4v4s and stuff too. I wasn't sure whether that's gonna carry over, you know, to LAN, and it did, and it carried over pretty much the exact same, if not better. He averaged, I think, 11.5 kills in S&D. I don't know how many S&Ds he played, but played quite a few. I think he played like 4 or something. So every time Fizz played S&D, that's a guaranteed 10 plus kills, that's pretty crazy to do. Like, that's not something anyone else really does. I think maybe Crim6 did it, I think, but other than that, like, no one does that. Like, that's insane. So I'm gonna give him his props for that. Like, he did struggle in the respawn a lot, but he did have his fair share of decent respawn games as well. But he had a few that were like pretty bad. I think he hit his first respawn of the event versus EG. He went like 12 and 30 or something. But then the very next map he went off in the Warhawk S&D. So I mean, I'm gonna give him his credit for the S&D. He's probably the best S&D player in the game. game. He does like some nerdy ass shit. Like he just smokes everything out. He knows all these little nade spots and shit. Like he just does some nerdy ass shit, and it works. So gotta respect that. But as far as everyone else, Apathy and Sharp played amazing. Like Apathy, Apathy's just a monster. I think most people hadn't really realized that because he hasn't. He was on SB, which they don't get like the most exposure. Now he's on TK, so he's gonna get a lot more exposure now. But Apathy's good as fuck, and he's probably the most underrated player in the game as far for how good he is. At least by like the fans. Like the casters always say how good he is. The other players always say how good he is, but like he doesn't really have like the fan base that that some of the other like best players have. So Apathy's really fucking good. I think he dropped 30 plus every dom except for one, and he was like the only person to do that. So he gets his credit there. And then Sharp, he played crazy good versus EG for EG's first loss of the event. I think that was the first time TK even beat EG as well. He played really good, so I got to give him his credit there because that's something that they're going to need from him for them to ever beat like top teams like that. He has to step it up, so he did. So I'll give him his credit there as well. And then like pretty much the whole Optic team, they all pretty much played well. I remember Proofy's 4-piece in S&D got an ace on EG. That was pretty crazy. EG, like they just sucked it up this event. I don't really know what happened. I think Krim played like extremely well in the S&Ds, but he really played very subpar and not up to his standards in most of the respawns. I think he had a few respawns where he did pretty well, but in a lot of them, like he was going negative and stuff, and that's not something that you see from Krim ever, really. So I don't really know. Like he tweeted something about how he was like tired, he hadn't had sleep or something on Saturday. That's why he played bad. But I mean, he didn't really play that much better on Sunday. So it was just he played like how he did in the beginning of the game. When TP was the best player. And then Krim stepped it up for COD champs and like became the best. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe he was just an off event, but I'm expecting him to come back to his usual self. And as far as like just the event stuff in general, the whole thing about Envy throwing the match against Optic, I don't know. It's kind of a shitty thing to do. Like there was a lot of evidence and proof and reasoning for why they would have done that. And the only like defense that they have is like that's a shitty thing to do. We wouldn't do that. So I mean maybe, but I don't know. I don't think it was so much like they 100% said, hey, let's lose this. I think they didn't really put as much. I think they didn't put 100% full effort into it, especially if you look at the vetoes and stuff. Like no one, like I think they were saying like this is the first time they played Octane. They didn't veto Octane Dom versus Optic in like since Ghost started or something. And there was like there's no reason not to veto it unless you want to lose it. You know what I mean? Something like that. So I don't know. There's just a few little weird things like that made it look like Envy wasn't really caring. But it doesn't matter either way. They lost to TK, then they lost to EG anyway. So anyways, that kind of was just stupid. And also the whole thing about EG, like they always I have to give it to them because the only two events in Ghost that they've lost were the ones that didn't have any prize money, and they always claim that they don't care unless there's prize money. I mean, it's kind of working out that way. So, if they go to Anaheim now, which is in another 2 weeks, so I mean, there isn't going to be too much practicing going on between, now and Anaheim. As good as these teams are now, that's pretty much how good they're going to be at Anaheim, I would say. Maybe a little bit better or a little bit worse and stuff. But pretty much, it's going to be the same people. Except, I guess there won't be any fill-ins. I think Methods will be attending Anaheim for SB. But pretty much, it's going to be the same teams and the same, skill level and everything. So, if EG shows up to Anaheim and just rapes everyone, just wins the event, I guess it really shows that they only care about money. But if EG doesn't win Anaheim, then they really can't use that excuse about money anymore. And it's just going to be interesting to see. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like rating if you did. Subscribe if you are not already. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description down below. Other than that, have a good day and peace out.